If you're a married man or in a long-term relationship and you find that your wife just isn't initiating S3X with you anymore, it's probably because you're failing on one of these 5 P's. These are the 5 P's of masculinity that you must master so that your woman or women in general find you attractive. And it doesn't matter if you've been married a year, 5 years, 10 years. When you master these 5 P's, women of all walks of life, including your wife, will absolutely find you attractive. You're going to be like, get off me, so you can stay focused. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Nakula, and I help married men transmute their S3X frustration and actually get your wife, your partner, to want to engage in S3X with you. Make sure you check out the links below. There's a few resources there for you so that you can take your relationship and your bedroom life and your entire life to the next level. All right, what are the 5 P's that I'm speaking about? Well, I'm going to get into them and I'm going to define them each, but I want to bust some myths right before I get into that. And the first is that a lot of men buy into cultural norms. You know, we start to think, oh, my wife is no longer initiating S3X with me. There's no sexual tension. There's no passion. You kind of guys are in the roommate phase. You know, you just live together. You pay the bills. You share responsibilities, and that's about it. And I know it's eating you up inside as a man. You're thinking, why doesn't she look at me the way that she used to? Why didn't she look at me at the way the lady in the coffee shop looks at me? My wife doesn't look at me that way, but some woman down the street, she looks at me that way. But why can't I get this woman that I love, this woman that I've decided to spend the rest of my life with, to look at me like that or to desire me? And what ends up happening is we start to fall into whatever the pack does. And I'm going to say the pack is the 95% of men. You don't want to do what they do because the 95% of men are overweight, they are broke, they are uneducated, they are lazy, they're procrastinating, they themselves have all the feminine traits. And that's largely why their women don't find them attractive. Did you know that more women are now cheating on their husbands than ever before? More women are having affairs. More women are complaining that their own husbands aren't even engaging with them. So it's a sad state of affairs. So here's a couple myths that guys fall into. And if you want to, you got to catch yourself to make sure that you're not doing these things. 1, you're being totally agreeable. Yes, honey. Yes, I'll wash the dishes. Yes, I'll go take out the trash. Yes, I'll do extra daycare time or diaper time or whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying not to do those things. I'm saying you're doing them because you think that that's going to make her more attractive to you. And that's absolutely not true. In fact, the more agreeable you become, the less attracted she's going to be to you, because attraction needs polarization. Meaning you have to embody strong masculine qualities. And when is the last time that you've seen a strong alpha male be agreeable? Oh, yes. Running around like a little puppy dog just trying to please her so that you can get S3X at the end of the night. That is definitely not going to do it. So does it mean you be difficult or you should be an asshole? Absolutely not. But if you're simply doing dishes and taking out the trash and spending more time with the kids because you think that that's going to make her more attracted to you, it's doing the opposite, and your S3X frustration is only going to increase, which is essentially going to stir up more resentment in you towards her and her towards you. So none of that. The second thing is that, and it kind of falls in a little bit alignment, but a little bit different, is that you have to be a nice guy. All of a sudden you start talking about your emotions and your problems and all the things that are going on, that you're miserable at work. You need to stop doing that. Now, I'm not saying that you can't share what's going on. Again, there's a balance here. However, when you're overly nice, when you start to become overly sensitive, overly caring, you actually start portraying yourself more like a feminine energy or more like a woman than a man. And what you're showing her is that you lack male competency. It is male competency that she finds attractive. So when you come home from work and you hate your boss, and you can't have control over your finances, and you've got all these problems going on, and you're spilling and you're telling her all about it, yes, she loves you, so she's going to listen to you, but she's not going to jump all over your you-know-what at the end of it. She's not going to want to have that carnal attraction for you, because what you're showing her is that you don't have your shit together, you're not in control of your life, or you can't solve problems. The essential duty of a man is to solve problems. So every time that you're talking about your problems, you're talking about how miserable you are at work, you're talking about how, your sleep is off and your patterns are off and all of these problems you have, you're showing her that you lack male competency. If you've got those challenging problems, here's what you need. You need me as your coach to come and talk to me. Or you talk to your best friend, your boy, or you talk to somebody, another man, where you're going to mastermind and solve those problems, but you don't want to go and make your wife the burden of your problems. You don't want to toss that on her, because while she loves you and she's going to listen to you and she's going to feel sorry for you, the last thing she's going to be attracted to is a man she feels sorry for, or a man who she views as incompetent or incapable to take care of himself and therefore her, the kids, and the community. What is very attractive to a woman and to your wife is your competency level. So take care of your problems. If you're really having some challenges that you need to talk about, which all men do, I recommend getting involved in men's groups, getting a coach, reaching out to me and connecting. That's why I exist. So we could solve your problems and you could be the great provider, protector, producer, provocateur, and powerhouse that you need to be, which are the 5 P's that you need to master. So now that we've talked about a few of the major mistakes I see men making, and I've made those mistakes too, thinking that's what you have to do because that's what the society's telling you, that's what the cultural norms are telling you, it doesn't work. Here's what works, the 5 P's. First P, provider. This is the basics. This alone isn't going to make her hot and heavy for you, but not doing this is definitely going to turn her off of you, okay? So, provider. Do you provide good income? Meaning, do you have a stable job, a stable business? Is she worried about the financial situation? If you and your wife are worried about the financial situation, she's not going to have the space to think about S3X because she's worried about the kids. Do they have enough? She's worried about the bills. You need to take care of those basics. Okay, this doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be a multi-millionaire. I'll talk about that in a second, but you do have to take care of the basics. So if you don't have the basics taken care of and you're sitting here wondering, how do I get my wife? You're wondering, how do I get more S3X in my life? That's the wrong question to be asking. You need to put that question aside. What you need to be asking is, how do I make more money? Right? How do I become a better provider? How do I create stability for myself and those connected with me so that they don't have to worry about those things? Now, here's the other thing about providing, not just money. Are you able to be a strong emotional support? When she comes with her problems, do your problems overtake hers? Are you able to stay grounded while she is going through her emotional ups and downs? Are you able to be a strong, stable presence in her life? Are you predictable? Meaning, does she have to walk on eggshells around you because she never knows what emotional state you're going to be? Now, of course, everybody has little bits of ups and downs, but ultimately, as a man, we should be steady, steadfast. We should be solid, like a mountain, stable, boom, unmovable, unshakable. That way, she knows that she could depend on you and she's not walking on eggshells, because she knows you're there providing emotional support. And lastly, I'm going to talk about this, which is a couple things here, is mental stimulation. Are you reading? Are you bettering yourself so that you can provide mental stimulation, spiritual support for her? Are you an example of someone who's continuously growing in intelligence? Intelligence is very attractive, and when you are intelligent and you have competency, it's very attractive to women because it shows them that you can solve problems and that you can be a great provider. You can also stimulate them with great conversations. You can question things. You have opinions and thoughts. This gets her to be enrolled in you because you're invoking mental stimulation in herself. And when she's mentally stimulated, she's definitely going to get physically stimulated as well. All right, so there's a lot of other things that you could do as a provider, but those are the basics, and you need to nail those and turn the dial up on that. Second P is a protector. Are you the type of guy when there's a noise downstairs, you nudge your woman and say, "Hey, what was that? Go check it out." Are you the type of man who can't catch the spider or catch the mouse in the house? Or are you the type of guy when the teacher is bullying your kids or being inappropriate that you don't go down there and sit the teacher and principal down and lay down the law with them? Are you the type of man who sticks up for others when they can't stick up for themselves? Do you have muscle mass, or, I'm not a huge dude, but I'm definitely not carrying the body fat that I used to? Are you carrying a ton of body fat? All of these things are showing her that you are unable to protect her. Here's another thing that I'm going to put into the protection category and it also falls into the provider and basically all the categories, is, are you addicted? Do you have a bunch of vices that are ruling you, whether it's prawn or marijuana or alcohol or Netflix or video games? If you have all of these vices, you're too distracted to protect. You're too weak to protect. You need to be a strong man, body and mind. You need to put the teacher in her place when she's out of line with your kids. You need to make sure that the government, for example, isn't overstepping the boundaries with your family. You need to be somebody who actually steps up when it's required. This is not treating people poorly. This is not going out and picking on people who are weaker. That's the opposite. That's actually the sign of a weak man. A strong man knows when to use force. He should be, I like when Jordan Peterson has a famous quote that said, a man should be dangerous and learn how to control it. Like a martial artist who's like a black belt who can just, he could throw people this way and that way, but he doesn't. But he's capable. Your woman wants to see that you are a nice guy, that you have compassion, that you have empathy, that you care, that you can show emotion, you can cry when it's appropriate to cry, that you can laugh when it's appropriate to laugh, and that you can invoke a power when it's proper time. So it's all about using your power at the proper time. This is wisdom. Again, goes back to male competency. So are you a great protector, or are you out of shape, don't have opinions, and are easily pushed over? If that's you, you need to turn up the dial on your ability to protect. Go take some martial art class. Go, take boxing classes. Go learn to debate. Do something that's going to up your ability to be a protector. Show courage. Be a brave man. Number 3 is a producer. So what is a producer? A producer is someone who is top level at what they do. So if you're a real estate agent, are you in the top 10% of real estate agents? Are you an insurance broker? Are you a business owner? Are you climbing the ranks of your field? Women are attracted to leaders and men who are climbing the ranks of social status. It doesn't mean that you should. Often men don't really care about these things, but women tend to care about these things more because it's where they're seeing, are you a strong provider, protector, and producer? So, I said earlier in the video, you have a couple $1 million in the bank. Yeah, it's not necessary, but it's definitely going to help you, right? Because you're a top producer. Women want to see their man getting awards or producing or bringing home that bonus check because they were the number one sales guy in the office. They want to see them getting promoted at work because it shows that you're an advancing man. And when you're an advancing man, it's very attractive. Not only do you feel good about yourself, your self-image, your self-esteem, everything begins to increase with that. It also shows that your wife and the women around you, that you're going to take them places. If they stick with you and they stay attracted to you, they're going to go places. They're going to have experiences. They're going to check out the new restaurants, or they're going to go to the latest shows because you're going to be able to produce for them. And also, a little bit of fame comes with social status. Again, doesn't mean you have to be a celebrity, but it doesn't hurt either, right? Social status is important to women. And so the more that you're producing and you're a top producer in what you do, then you are going to show that you have status. You're going to show you have some recognition, some fame, and that's going to keep her hot and heavy for you. Number 4, and this is where many married men, you may be good in the first 3, but these last 2 generally is where most guys start to really fall down. The 4th one is a provocateur. What is a provocateur? Someone who can provoke and have game within your relationship. Do you know how to flirt? Are you the guy on that just sends a random dick pics? Are you the guy who just assumes that because you're married that your woman should now all of a sudden be jumping all over you? It's a bad mindset. It's not going to work. You need to still have game within your marriage. You still need to be able to plan good date nights, to flirt, to push and pull with her, to kind of bring her in, then push her away. You need to create dynamic in the relationship so that there's emotional responses and triggers. If you are not a good provocateur, then it doesn't matter if you're doing the basics, providing, protecting are the basics. That's the baseline. You have to do that. But those alone are not going to just make her super attracted to you. So what you want to do is you want to be a producer. That's definitely going to step up the game and the attraction level. And then you want to be a good provocateur, meaning you want to have a flirting game. You want to have some game both in the bedroom, yes, and outside the bedroom as well, which takes us to number 5, what I call a powerhouse or a powerhouse man, which encompasses essentially all 5, but specifically, you're great in the bedroom. Can you last long? Do you have different techniques? Do you bring game when you're in the bedroom? Can you change it up? Are you all stiff in the hips, or do you know how to dance, right? If you are all kind of stiff and rigid in the bedroom, then the S3X isn't going to be that great. You need to loosen up and actually get your S3X game good. And also, powerhouse man means someone who keeps their power in their house. So what is power? It means the ability to do. So essentially a self-mastered man. When you are a powerhouse man, your power lives within you, and your house is your body. So the way that you take care of your body is going to show her and everyone around you how disciplined you are, how focused you are, and where your own self-image lives. So these 5 P's, when fully mastered, are going to totally turn up the attraction. And the beauty is this doesn't take long to do. In my Powerhouse Man training program, 90 days, men go from, she won't even look at me, we sit on 2 different couches, she's distracted by the kids and the drama, and she's not into S3X with me, to, oh my gosh, you need to pull over right now, and do it in the middle of the car, or we need to, not the middle of the car, but you know what I mean, in the middle of the street, maybe not exactly, but the point is that she's all over you. She's coming and trying to distract you, and you're like, hey, later, because I'm focused. If you want that result, then reach out to me, connect with me, send me a message. I'll be happy to show you how to master the 5 Ps as I've done in my own life. And now I've helped men all around the world do the same. So again, go check out the links below. There's some resources. There's a way to contact me directly. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and that you are getting notifications so you don't miss these tips and these videos that we're producing for you, so that you can have an awesome marriage and an awesome life. Because it's great if you've got your money or your career or, you know, everything's together. Maybe your marriage is great, you know, but this 15%, this percentage in the bedroom, if you don't have that right, it sucks. It's horrible. And I know it's eating you up inside. It's causing you tons of frustration. Maybe it's causing you to drink more, to smoke more. Maybe it's causing you to, be on Tinder or have secret profiles here and there so that you can get some arousal. But when you learn these 5 Ps and you master them and you implement them, you're going to do amazing things in your marriage. I'll see you guys on the next video.